Thanks everyone for tapping into Constant Cadence with Matt. It's been a little while since I've made a video, but I think I'm on to an interesting tangent, definitely related to watches and specifically watchmaking. I got a homage of a GMT Master 2 Batman that was relatively inexpensive but looked kind of cool to me. And I wanted a watch that maybe I could wear on travel or in situations where the watch might get stolen or damaged. And I started to regulate that watch and sort of went down the rabbit hole. For those of you that don't know, I've been a big fan of Marshall on Wristwatch Revival, which is a fantastic YouTube channel. And Marshall takes you through the process of servicing watches and repairing watches, and it's just mesmerizing. I could sit there for an hour and watch him take apart a watch and clean it and repair it and put it all back together and have a working masterpiece, a mechanical watch, sometimes automatic, sometimes not, ready to go and be enjoyed for decades more. And I just think it's great. So I was trying to regulate this homage watch, which is based on a Seiko movement, an NH36 movement, and things weren't going well. Eventually, it stopped when I was adjusting to get the beat error lower, and I think that may be because of magnetism, but we'll find out. I got a bunch of things on the way, and I'll talk to you about that in a minute. But let's take a look at what happened. I just decided to sort of dive in and take the watch apart, and I went through the full disassembly. And thanks to Marshall, I had a really good awareness of the different components and roughly how things went together, or in this case, how things came apart. I need to get some tools before I reassemble. I need to clean the parts. I need to have the proper oils to put things back together. I need a demagnetization tool, and then also, a couple of things just for storage and organizing things while you're doing a service on a watch. So hopefully you'll find this interesting, and I hope you enjoy it. So just to show you what happened. I'm not sure how it happened, but actually I am sure how it happened. I started down the path of using my trusty time grapher to try and regulate a kind of a, not really a knockoff, but an homage watch that I got. So this is the case, and you can see it's an homage to a Batman, a Rolex Batman. So I started to initially bought this homage. It was inexpensive in order to start doing things like regulation, maybe do a service, and so I got right into the regulating, and things got a little funky when I started to try and reduce the beat error. And eventually, the balance spring stopped moving and the watch shut down. Now, I think that might be related to magnetism. I don't have a demagnetizer. It's one of many things that I have on the way. But it stopped, the watch stopped ticking. So that started me down the process of looking at the movement a little bit more closely, looking into some other YouTube videos on that movement, which is the NH36, I believe. Yeah, so this is a 4R36A movement. And I started taking the movement apart. So I uncased it, which necessitated buying a caseback opener for the Rolex ridged casebacks. The movement came out without a problem, and the next step was removing the hands, which I have hand removal tools for, and then storing them in this kind of cool box that I watch Wristwatch Revival with Marshall, and kind of got all these little tips. So keep your hands safe in here, and then the dial, which you can see this looks very similar to a GMT Master 2 dial, but with no Rolex logo. So this is not a copy or a fake or a clone. This is an homage, and it's labeled according to the movement that's inside, which is a Seiko. So that's a safe place for the dial. And then I'll show you, I have a movement holder. This is actually the empty movement frame. So everything's been taken out, and this is sort of an area where I realized I didn't have some of the things I should have had, because I put all the parts into one little box here for safekeeping. And this is a GMT movement, so there are some things in there that would normally accommodate a day movement. So you can see there is a date wheel in here, and there normally, with this movement, there could be a day of the week wheel as well. But in order to create a GMT movement, they put some fancy things where that day wheel would normally be. So that was a little different, because the example I was watching on YouTube, none of those had a GMT movement, but I'm going to have to figure it out. So I guess I'm on my way. I will show you. I have a lot of different things that I need in order to reassemble this properly. First, I need to be able to clean all the parts. Then I need to be able to put this back into the barrel. I don't even know if you can see that, but that is the mainspring, and it's sprung, obviously. I need to clean this, rewind it, so I need a mainspring winder so I can put it back in the barrel, and reassemble this. I need oils also, different types of oils for different parts of the movement, and probably this is an anti-magnetic set of tweezers, but I probably will need to get some brass tweezers to avoid scratching certain parts of the jewels that I'm going to have to be oiling and removing, the jewel caps, etc. So quite a few things. I need solvent for the cleaner, and a little, different cases that will hold these kinds of parts and keep them safe and sound. The parts are really small, and a couple of them flew on me. 2 pieces actually flew on me, and I cannot believe it, but I found them. They fell on the floor, and Marshall warns us viewers often that it's very difficult to find them. I got lucky, and I found them pretty quickly. But stay tuned for part 2, and I will guide you through the steps of reassembly, cleaning and reassembly, and also have a demagnetizer on the way. So I'll demagnetize, and that can have an effect on the hairspring or the balance spring, whatever you want to call it, that can actually bog the watch down and cause it to stop working, which may be the issue that I was dealing with. So again, stay tuned for part 2, and I hope you'll join me on this journey. It's kind of crazy. I just sort of jumped into it. On disassembly, it was pretty easy, actually. You're taking things apart. It's small scale, but nothing too outrageous. And I actually knew my way around things for the most part. I knew what the click was. I knew to let the mainspring down so that I didn't have all this energy stored up when I'm pulling wheels out. I knew, what the escape wheel looked like, the pallet fork, those kinds of things. So I kind of knew my way around the movement for the most part. And, YouTube helped me fill in the gaps on some of the parts. But I'm really looking forward to this. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I hope you enjoy it too. And I will also get back to reviewing watches in the near future. But part 2 coming up. Take care. Thanks again for tapping into Constant Cadence with Matt, everyone. Keep an eye out for part 2, and I hope your dial makes you smile.